The search continues for two sisters who went missing in Marobjane village outside Polokwane. 6-year-old Tshegofastso Raphasha and her 7-year-old sister disappeared earlier this week. They reportedly left their house with relatives and never returned. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is tracking this story for us and joins us now live just for an update. Aviwe, please tell us what is going on, and I cannot even imagine what the family is feeling. And I believe you have guests with you for an update on the story.
Family absolutely devastated, but what has happened from Monday, in fact the community as well as law enforcement officials are here at the Raphasha family trying to figure out exactly what has happened since a week ago when Tshegofastso and Lisigo went missing late afternoon. I have in fact the great-grandmother who at the time was staying with them, and the mother as well as a councillor, just to also navigate what has been happening. I'm going to bring him in now just to try and find out. Starting with the great-grandmother. Mama, thank you for joining us at eNCA. Maybe tell us, what's the get in on the day on Monday? What happened?
Monday, first, 6:15, come Monday. Kina ko ya tsamaileng ka ona e Tshegofastso Raphasha le Kamuelo Raphasha.
But by a group,
ba tsamaile ba ina le Antonia Phukupi. Dialo o tsamaile le bona a re ke tsebo gore ba ile ba khonela kae mo ba tsamaile ngwana ke ba lotile ka palelwa.
Antonio uring manje mbuzo kuri ingane zikuphi?
Ke mmotsisa ke re na bana ba o ba sile ka ya tsebo ro ba sile ka gore monano ayo chabi.
Okay, so Antonio is a disabled relative that lived with the two siblings, and we do understand that she came back the following day not knowing where the children are, and in speaking to some of the law enforcement officials telling us that her herself was had some cuts. We understand she's 30 years old and disabled. I want to bring in the councillor in terms of what has happened. Councillor, thank you for joining us. It's a sad story. I see the community is here, law enforcement is here. What's been happening this last week to try and find the two siblings?
Nna ke tsebile gore bana ba timetse ka la ka Tuesday late ore bokoko wa bana ba tekwana ba tabampotsa gore bana ba lateile ke ile ka nyaka maloko wa CPF le ward committee member wa block ya Nimbi ke mo re themile go tšea ba re tlhalosetsa gore bana ba timetse, then ra tšea maele a gore re tsamaye police station ro reporta police station ya Senobarana mo ile gore mapolisa ba ile ba re thusa kudu ka mata re sepetse leto le to allow Tuesday o fitala today le re bana re le ka tsela e re tswa every day re chaisa bosiu re na le mapolisa re na ba berekile ka boima ba tlile le dimtša dipere di helicopter, so re nyakile bana ba bue ka ba re bana ba re paletse re ne re sa tswela pele re boele morao re na le community ya rena re thusa o nyaka re sepela ka maoto mapolisa ba sepela ka maoto le van ba tarapa ka dikoloi then ra tsana le so dira nyaka ba tshwere dimtša tša bona helicopter le na kitima ka modimo ka madimo be gore bana re ba bone mara re to give up re sa tlo tswela pele o nyaka na le bana ba until re ba khumana.
A joint effort between the community, law enforcement and yourself, councillor, as you mentioned, a daily effort, even helicopters brought in. Are there any leads at this stage? Do you have any indication where the two siblings may be, or anything on the ground yet?
Helicopter journal di thomile bereka ka la bobedi on Tuesday, then ka la boraro ba sete mapolisa ke nako e bonya kana le tše dingwe tša phathe bana ba timela bo Antonia ka lekwele mokgekolo ba bola ka Antonia ke ngwana ntša itetše ka maya e kwa moletši, then maabane ka Friday ke Saturday then ba boya habedi maphodisa le di-helicopter, then ba boya le dimtša le dipere, then ke mo re ile ra bereka gona re sa thole le today re tswa gona le soding re sa le busy re sa nyakana le bana re na le sephodisa sa borena sa seno barano. Ke a leboha.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. I'm just going to have a quick word with the mother. Devastated at this stage, as you can understand, the mother of the two siblings, just in parting. Siswam, thank you for joining us. I am sorry for this devastating incident. Just your parting words, what would you like to say?
Dumela batho ka moka o bolela mo ke REGINA Raphasha ma o ka mogalla lesego ke latlhegetse ke bana ba ka ne ke no re ke gopela thuso o ba bonang a ntsebishe.
The mother of Tshegofastso Kamogelo as well as Lesego just pleading with anyone that may know anything at this stage on the whereabouts of her two daughters, 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. Joint efforts that have been happening ongoing for a week now, since we understand the two siblings left late afternoon on Monday with a family member, Antonio, disabled, we understand, not mentally stable, came back, the family relative, on the following day without the two children, and does not say where they are at this stage, as those searches are still ongoing and continuing. Later on, we'll be catching up with the South African Police Service to find out their efforts and what they've been doing. But you heard some of those efforts from the councillor, even helicopters that have been brought in. And at this very stage, the police officers just left moments ago as they try to, on a daily basis, to find out what's been happening, to try and get leads to find the 7-year-old and the 5-year-old.
Well, Aviwe, just in closing, very sad story. Could maybe the members of the family just let the viewers of eNCA know, maybe to help in the search, what the kids were wearing, the 7 and 5-year, when they last were seen, so people can probably help in the search in that community?
In fact, there is a picture just around that I'll ask my camera colleague to even zoom into. But I want to ask the mother, Mama, what were they wearing when they were last seen? Or even Makulu, what were they wearing?
Mara ke tshetanyana ya matso a manyane a se matso a matelele ke di vest nyana yo mongwe wa pere skipanyana ka bore go be bo maroon.
So one of them was wearing a vest, I understand, and a maroon top, but there is a picture that we'll also try and share as the law enforcement try to find the officials. We'll share it with you a bit later on, the picture of the 7-year-old and the 5-year-old that went missing on Monday. Of course, a sad story, and the community this very moment is outside in numbers as they try to also chip in and help however they are. The pictures are not coming at this very moment, but of course we will be sharing that image so that if anyone out there knows where Tshegofastso as well as Kamogelo maybe. I'm going to ask my colleague maybe just to zoom in. I just got the picture now of the two daughters. Sad story. These two daughters went missing on Monday, we understand late afternoon, leaving with a relative who came back the following day without them. The relative is mentally unstable, not knowing where they are, and there have been continuous searches of the two daughters, Kamogelo as well as Tshegofastso Raphasha. If anyone knows anything, South Africans, this should of course be alerted to the police. We'll be speaking to the police ourselves, but here the two daughters are, which we do understand. One of them were wearing vests and another a maroon top at that time. We'll get the clear details that we'll share with you, but here is Kamogelo as well as Tshegofastso Raphasha, who went missing on Monday, and it's almost a week now that they've been gone missing without any clear indication of where they are. But there are joint efforts on the ground with law enforcement officials, community members coming out in droves to try and assist however they can.
All right, Aviwe, we'll leave it there. And this is quite a very important plea as well from you and the family, more importantly, that South Africa could please help the search for these two young girls